Here.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
And here we are again. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor. And today is a good day. Today is a day that we can get up, face the day, face the problems of the world that surround us, and do something about it. That's why it's a great day. We're each in charge of navigating our lives with God's help, but we can navigate our lives, and we can navigate it away from everything that is negative and focus on doing something that is positive in our lives. Because every single day, with inflation and the recession and the threat of losing jobs, we have to remain focused. We have to navigate well. And we have to surround ourselves with people who have the capability, through their experience, of advising us also. So today we have to navigate. Now, a lot of you probably listened to the President's State of the Union. I didn't. I did not listen to it. I felt that I knew what was going to happen. I knew that his speeches are always the same. They're never anything different except to put the other side down, never take blame, lie about Social Security and Medicare. And I didn't want to listen to that anymore. I already knew what he was going to say. I already know what his failures are as a leader. And I'm not impressed. And I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy with the direction that the nation is going. 65% of the nation is not happy with the way the economics of this country is going. I know I'm not. Every time I go to the store, I'm thinking, oh gosh, how much am I going to spend this time? And they're just for basic stuff, because I'm just a single guy who lives in a house. I don't go out and buy candy and ice cream and wine and all that other stuff. I am just buying the basics. Tomatoes, potatoes, stuff that I can eat on a daily basis. Very little meat. Sometimes I do buy a little extra, because I want something good to make me feel good. But I'm not buying any clothes. I haven't bought clothes in over a year. And so I'm living on a very shoestring budget. Even though I have slip-ons, I'm still living in a shoestring budget. But we're all facing this. We're all living this world that we never thought we would live in. We never thought that we would be concerned about a balloon that would float over America. We never thought we'd be scared about the fentanyl that's coming up through the border. We never thought that we would be paying such high prices on food, on eggs. Sometimes we're going off without even having any eggs. I don't buy eggs anymore. So we're living in this different type of world. And there's a lot of things being thrown at us on the news and through political commentary and everything else that's just being thrown at us. It's like, honestly, it's almost like a monkey who's throwing the caca at us every single day. It's just a bunch of nonsense. But I'm concerned, and I think a lot of you are too, right? We sit back in our offices and in our homes and watching this mess and this chaos that we see on television. And we also know that what's being told us is not even close to being the truth. It's like we're living in a different world from what news reporters are living in. We're living in a different world than what politicians think the world we're living in. Two very vastly different views on the economy, on the national security, and everything else. No one can agree on anything. Except you and I, we can agree that what we're living through at the moment is not what we wanted. It's not what we voted for. but we lived through it. Now, on the other side, I'm an old man now, so I have lived through these recessions before, and we have always come out of them. It's because we decided to choose a leader that could get us out of them. I remember having to sit in line. I was working in Stanford, right beside Stanford University up in Palo Alto, California. And I remember at that time, I had fresh out of school, fresh out of college. Carter was the president. That's how old I am, okay? Anyway, Carter was the president. And during the lunch hours, I would go out to try to find gas because it was like odd even days that you could buy gas. And so I would sit there during my lunch hour, take my lunch, sit in the car, move up a few inches, move up another few inches. And sometimes I never got gas because my hour was up, my lunch hour was up, I had to go back. And sometimes I was right on the E, right on the empty spot. I remember those times. And I remember one other time when all of a sudden the stock market took a dive and all of my 401k was gone. I had a negative $30-some thousand in there. A negative. In other words, I owed on my 401k. And I've been through the time when the housing market literally crashed and we were paying 13%, 14% interest rates on houses. I remember all this. So I have lived through it before. And many of you have lived through it before and have forgotten about it. Because we moved on with our lives and we created businesses and we got new jobs. We created new households. We got married. A whole bunch of things happened to us. But these things happened. Recessions happened. I still remember the time when Iran kidnapped several of our embassy people. They kicked us out of the nation, and these people could not get out. There's a whole movie about that. But I lived through it. And as a young child, when I was growing up, I remember George Wallace, one of the most racist governors in this nation of Alabama, blocking the school doors so black children could not go to school. I remember that. I know what real racism is. I've seen it. I've smelt it. I've heard it. So I'm an old guy, so I've lived through all these things before, but we got better as a nation. We did things to improve the lives of so many different people. We have changed things as we went along. We got better. And now in politics, everybody's a racist. They have taken the word racism and changed it over to a political meaning instead of a real meaning of how people were treated in this discriminatory fashion of George Wallace. I have lived through it all. And in the end, what happens is that Americans get tired and they get frustrated over what's going on and they make changes. They vote on people who they think will make that change. Who knows the economy, who knows business, who knows the politics of this world, who knows how to get things done, who knows how to lead, who knows how to inspire a nation. And that's the kind of people that's the kind of person that we need as a leadership now. We don't have it, but that's what we need. Because Americans get disappointed, they get frustrated. The mental health goes awry a little bit because they're having to face all of these frustrations on a daily basis. They get worn out. They get politically fatigued about what goes on. But as an old man who's gone through this before, I'm telling you, you will make it through all of this nonsense. But what you have to do is stay focused and navigate your own way. Surround yourself with people that you can trust. Become spiritually motivated again, and you will find that will help you through these tough times. Don't be afraid to take a few minutes every day, no matter where you are at, and just bow your head and pray and give thanks and forgive. The biggest part of this whole thing is forgiveness, because there's a lot of people out there that needs forgiven. But you navigate your own way with God's help. You keep on going. You keep pushing. You keep creating those businesses that you need to create. Find a business coach that will help you through the way, that can guide you, that you can bounce things off of. Somebody who has built businesses themselves. Find the right people for that advice. But let me tell you, if you put your frustrations into God's hands, you're not going to notice them, because He'll take them away. But you need to focus on whatever you want to do in life, whatever you need to do to make your family secure and safe. And whatever you need to do, if you have a plan to build a business, build it. I love talking to businesses. And when I sit down with them, I sat down with a business this last week, and they were totally disorganized. And they needed someone like me to come in and organize and get their financials up to date, get them into tax compliance. Those are the kind of clients I love, the people that need true help. But that's what I mean about finding people that can guide you. Not just in business, but also spiritually, that can let you know that, hey, you're not the only one with that problem. Just put it in God's hands and things will happen. Right now we have a nation that is in trouble. It's in chaos. Remember to include our nation every single day in your prayers. Listen, you're going to make it through. I made it through a whole bunch of recessions, so you can make it through too. I'm still here, still standing, still surviving, still navigating. You'll make it through. Listen, if you'd like to have more contact with me, go to my website at www.lodge-co.com. If you have a business question, send it to thebusinessadvisor at zmail.com. And if you would like to support me, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Michael Lodge. All my blogs and podcasts are there for you to read. Listen, we got a lot of navigating to do. Get to it. You're going to make it through. I made it through. You can make it through too. Don't be frustrated. Trust. Forgive. Move forward. And plan. This is Mike Lodge, the business advisor. Let's go out and let's fight. Let's go out there and fight for our lives. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.